going on, everyone? My name is George Sarkis, and I am the CEO of the Sarkis Team at Douglas Elliman, and I have the great pleasure of having Alex Sanchez with us today, one of the top agents here at the Sarkis Team, and we are going to get to know Alex and hear about his journey before, during, and his plans for the future. Alex, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely.
So it only makes sense to start with how you actually got here and why you're even in that seat. Do you want to tell the story or?
Start telling it.
I can start telling it? Okay, so it's crazy because you had sent me probably 4 or 5 emails asking to, shadow me for a day. I think this is about 4 years ago. Shadow me for a day, if you could meet me to pick my brain, and I never answered. It kind of got lost in the shuffle, so I apologize. But you then sent me, I believe, a 6th email, and that email simply said, "This is the last time I'll be reaching out, and I just want to let you know that I'm willing to offer you, I believe it was $2,000 or $3,000,
right around there,
to shadow you for the day." And, money talks, and that definitely got my attention.
Yeah.
I did answer your email. I think I picked up the phone and called you.
You did.
I called you and I said, "Hey, your email finally got my attention, and I don't want your money. However, I am hosting an open house tonight in Wenham. Yeah. Please feel free to come by and introduce yourself." Which you did. We got to chat.
Yeah.
And that's where the story started. And I think that it's a great story because you were persistent. You didn't give up. Oh. You continued to be a pest, which, from your experience and time with our team and working with me, you know that I love people who are persistent.
Yeah. I figured that would be the one.
So it was a great story. You've been with us for 3 years now, 3+ years.
Yeah.
And I think it only makes sense to start about your life before real estate. Yeah. So obviously real estate is your profession. It's what you do. You love it. But tell me a little bit about yourself before real estate. Like, what was your drive, or what were you passionate about before you started selling houses?
Well, I love basketball. So I played a lot of basketball. The hard thing, actually, before I got into real estate, when I dropped out of school, actually, my whole identity was basketball. So when I dropped out and got my license, it was a little weird because everyone was still asking me how the season was. Like, how did I do? And I was already out.
This is college basketball?
This is college basketball, yes. So I was already dropped out, and everybody was asking me, like, how the season was.
So let's go before college.
More.
So where did you grow up?
Okay, so I grew up in Salem. I grew up in the Point in Salem.
The Point in Salem?
Yes, I grew up in the Point, and it wasn't the easiest growing up. It wasn't the easiest growing up. So I have an older brother, older sister. I grew up with no dad. It was a single mom, 3 kids. And I always think now, like, she didn't speak English, and she raised 3 kids, And I speak English now, and I have a friend like you that does well, and life's hard. So I'm like, how the hell did she even survive,
For sure.
But after that, I also had a lot of coaches and stuff, too, that helped me, though. So even though it was hard, there were a lot of people that did help me while I was growing up. So it was hard, but I had a lot of people that helped me, even now, till this day. So.
And when you were growing up in Salem with 2 siblings and a mother who could not speak English, you obviously had to work hard.
Yeah.
You had to figure things out. Would you say your escape then was basketball?
Definitely, for sure. And
you got some buckets in basketball in Salem, right?
I did okay.
How many points did you score in your high school career?
I scored 1,000.
1,000. That's an achievement of its own.
Yeah.
So 1,000-point scorer in Salem for a short kid like you?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's hilarious.
And then obviously basketball in high school led to you starting to play basketball in college.
Yeah.
Similar story. I played high school basketball. I did not score nearly 1,000 points. I don't even think I had 500 points, but I was really passionate about basketball. I was a gym rat, and I think that's really what brought us together.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you were persistent. I also grew up in a family where my parents came from Lebanon. So, English was a second language in my household. And I think we were able to relate.
Yeah.
And if you go back to where it started, when you joined the Sarkis team,
Yeah.
I was not easy on you.
No. No, you weren't.
And as you know, I was building a company, building a team, and we didn't have much time during the days
Yeah.
to actually connect where I could coach you, mentor you, and everything else. So what did we end up doing? How did we end up connecting? Talk about the journey in the beginning.
Oh my gosh, that was 2023. Might have been one of the hardest years of my life. I'm not even joking.
Why?
Just because, I was doing real estate and I was selling some, but I didn't realize till I joined that I was doing it the wrong way. So when I first joined, there were things I was used to that you were not okay with. So we used to wake up early, and frankly, I dreaded it because we used to go and we used to shoot, and sometimes it was not fun, because you would just tell me what I needed to improve and I needed to get better and I need to work harder. And I was doing some of it, but the results weren't there. So it was a little bit of a.
Did you
of
hate me
dreading
some
of
days?
I wouldn't
You can
say
be
hate,
honest. You
but
can be
close
honest.
to it. I wouldn't say hate, but close to it. But I only know it was making me better, So at the end of the day, even if you would say something during the day, like you did one time, you were telling me I had no sense of urgency. And I remember I was like, what does that even mean? Like, there's no way. Like, I don't even. But I went home and I kind of thought about it and I was like, no, he's right. Like, there's being calm and cool, but then there's just being like having no sense of urgency, and playing it too cool. So that was actually a huge lesson for me because now when it comes to getting business, it comes a lot easier when I'm like persistent and I'm checking in. Like, hey, did you have any questions about that agreement? Why wait a week? Do it later. So, yeah.
And before you came to the Sarkis team, what was your best year selling real estate?
It was around like 10 million.
$10 million.
Yeah.
And what did you sell last year?
I sold around 16.
Around 16 million last year.
Yeah.
And where are your numbers at this year? And what is supposed to be one of the toughest years in the past 20 years selling real estate? Where are your numbers at today?
Closed under agreement, and I'm at right around 28.
$28 million.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's impressive. And I can definitely not take all the credit for those 5 a.m. workouts. But I think that, the mix of, I'm a big believer in, do you get it and do you want it?
Yeah.
You get it, and I definitely know you want it. And it's one of those things where you are a coachable team member. And I consider you a team member. I don't say you work under me. I think we are, a team. I think that I can consider you a friend, consider you a colleague. But what really changed your trajectory? I mean, you went from 10 million to 16 million to 28, and we still have another whole quarter to go in 2025. And what I said earlier, arguably one of the toughest years selling real estate. Like, tell me, what happened?
My mindset, really. That was really it. And you were, one thing when I joined, so I was with KW first, then I went to EXP. And the biggest thing when you join is like, they're like, SOI, follow up with these people, reach out to people. And when I came here, it was that, but it was also like, work on yourself. Like you were heavy on that. And that was something that I did every now and then. But when you pushed it, now I realize like my growth in numbers has aligned with my growth in myself. So that was probably the biggest thing. So the more I worked on that, the more I just started to see results. And I just leaned into it. So now anytime I'm like a little slow or something, I look back at my last month or 2 months and I'm like, have I worked on myself as much as I thought I have? And usually it's no. And then once I kick back into that mode, things just start to happen. So.
And, you have times in this industry where things are busy. Showings are happening, spring, fall, so-called busy season in our industry.
Yeah.
What do you do, or what do you think is something you have focused on when you say you've made adjustments, you've worked on yourself,
No.
and I've noticed it, and I can definitely tell you've matured and you've grown, not only as a real estate agent, but as a person. And like when you talk about these off months or slow season in our industry, what are some things that you've done to keep busy? And because it's a tough industry, it's a mental grind.
Yeah, it is.
It's ebbs and flows, it's a roller coaster. So like when things are good, they're good, but when things are bad and they're slow, what do you do? Like what do you do in those slow seasons when the phone's not ringing and there aren't any showings and you don't have any listing appointments? What do you do
Well, two things. You always say work on the business.
on the business? What does that mean?
Well, for me, I know I wasn't very organized when I first joined the team, so I would find that my days would be cluttered with thinking about what I have to do, like this smoke certificate, this final water, all these different things. And if I just had a system in place for those things, it could clear up for probably a lot more important things to work on in the business. So, yeah, I would say like building systems, a platform to use to stay organized, following up, getting ready for a pipeline, different things like that. Oh.
And your marketing, what have you done differently to market yourself 2025, 2021? What changed marketing? Like where have you made adjustments? If someone's, a Alex Sanchez pre-Sarkis Team trying to improve and trying to get to that, because listen, even $10 million in Massachusetts, pretty much anywhere, selling $10 million is a good number. I mean, you can make a good living selling $10 million in real estate. For the person that is looking to get in this industry, because we have real estate agents getting their license every single day now,
Yeah.
and the numbers just keep climbing, what would you tell them to do differently marketing-wise? Because people make it look it looks a lot easier than it really is.
Yeah.
When you're marketing yourself and trying to differentiate yourself from the other, thousands of agents out there. So what have you done differently 2021, 2025?
There's so many different things. First thing I did was
Give me three things. Give me top three things that you've done differently that have actually produce results.
Okay, well, first my social media, for sure, I've amped it up. I could do a little better, but I started to kind of tighten up the content. I started to post more, say like luxury stuff, because we sell a lot of high-end real estate, so I definitely polished that. Mm-hmm. How I dress, I definitely changed that up. I started to clean up a little bit. I started to dress better.
Your swag has definitely improved.
It's improved by a lot.
Since you first came.
Yeah.
To the team.
So it helped a lot with my confidence. And then the third thing I would say is YouTube. I actually got a couple leads from YouTube, so YouTube's another thing that I took a little more serious.
That's interesting. So you mentioned social media, you mentioned YouTube. Putting out content is one thing, Alex, and we've talked about this so many times. Putting out content, anyone can post a listing, anyone can post, their wins and everything else, but what do people want to see through social media, and what actually attracts potential clients and buyers and sellers? What are people looking for on YouTube, on social media, that not many people are doing enough of? Like, why does someone want to work with a real estate agent when they see them on social media or see a video on YouTube? Like, what do you think, and what have you put out there for content through those platforms that have actually led to business and deals?
It's mostly educational.
Educational.
Yeah, educational. And then whenever I make videos on, like I got a lead from a video on top neighborhoods in Wellesley that I posted on YouTube. And she just looked it up. She saw it. I did some SEO, and then she just reached out to me. Literally, she said, I saw your video. I liked how you talk about the neighborhoods.
And you did a deal with her, correct?
Yeah, I did. I did do a deal with her, actually. Yeah.
Because people want someone who can add value.
Yeah.
I mean, it's knowledge. It's the knowledge pillar is huge on this team. If anyone can look the part, anyone can write an offer together, put an offer together. Anyone can send listings out, but it's how do you differentiate yourself, and that's knowledge
Yeah.
and educating a prospective buyer or seller.
Yeah. And we do this all the time. So I think we're used to doing this all the time, every day, that sometimes we take for granted that a buyer or a seller just doesn't know anything at all. So sometimes I'll ask a buyer, like a prospective buyer, if they're pre-approved. They don't even know what that means, but we're so used to it that we just like assume people know what they know. Open houses is honestly the best thing, because people will come in and let's say they have an agent and have had an agent. I'll ask them if they submitted offers, and they'll say yes. And I'm like, what are the offers looking like? Like, I'll ask these questions, and it'll just be like a boilerplate offer, And I'm like, well, have you tried this? There's some things you can do in an offer to make it more attractive. You can do an info-only home inspection. You can play with the dates. You can play with the deposits, and they don't even know these things, So when I say it at an open house, they're like, man, I think we might have the wrong agent, But all I did was just provide information that they didn't have beforehand. So I would agree.
And talking about that, you meet a buyer at an open house, or you meet buyers, out there. We always hear one thing in our industry, and that's I'm not looking for a buyer's agent. I'm just going to go direct.
Yeah.
They automatically the prospective buyer out there, they think that they're automatically going to save on a commission, and it's going to be the best decision they can make. What do you say about that when someone thinks that they can just go and look at properties on their own, browse through Zillow, and purchase a property without having a licensed real estate agent, specifically a good one, representing them? Like, why should someone have an agent representing them?
Yeah, well, most of the time they think they're going direct to the agent to save on a commission, but the listing agent's most likely still taking all of it. So you're not really saving there. It might seem like it's a benefit for you and for the seller, and that you might get a deal, but most of the time you're not. So, and then it really just depends on the agent on the other end, and most of the time you just don't want to do that. You want someone on your side who you can trust and who has some skin in the game. Like, if we don't get paid until something closes, and there's a lot of incentive for us besides obviously the paycheck to do a good job, but us, at least, we care about our clients, and the last thing we care about is the check, which is why we do such a great job.
And I always say one thing: we're not looking to do one deal.
Yeah, we're looking to build relationships.
Build relationships.
Yep.
And you've definitely built relationships. I mean, talk to me a little bit about the business alliances that you've built over the years, and how that's been important for your business.
Yeah, I didn't even know about business alliances until I joined the team. I was really.
You had them though. You just didn't know.
Yeah, I just didn't know that was a way to get business.
Yep.
So I never really built relationships with business alliances.
Because they weren't buying a house today, or they weren't buying a house tomorrow.
Mostly because they just weren't buying a house. You
Yeah.
know, but I never actually thought about the fact that they meet people who buy and sell, and then there's divorce attorneys, there's the wealth managers, like all these different people that you just kind of take for granted, because you're just looking for the quick buck.
You're looking for the quick
again,
buck.
that was my problem before I joined the team. I was like burning and turning, and I was driving everywhere to get all these different deals. But if you just build relationships, it starts to just come to you, and then over time you can kind of pick and choose what you want to take.
That's great. You've definitely learned a lot over the years.
Yeah.
So tell me about, could be 2025, could be, when your EXP days. Talk to me about one of your biggest losses. Like a big loss could have been huge 4 years ago, and now you might look at it, and in hindsight, it's like, damn, that really wasn't that bad.
Wow.
But like, what's a big loss that actually like hit, and it like changed your mood that day? It ruined the week. Like a big loss that you can remember. I mean, I know you're doing really well, and you might not have any losses, but
No, the losses. I look forward to the losses at this point. I really do.
So tell me about one of your losses.
Anything deals?
Yeah, like a big loss. If it was big, you'll remember it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, on 2023, I always talk about 2023 being the hardest year. One, because it was like the first time I really had like a full year with the team. But that year, I also had a falling out with like some of my really good friends. So not only was I trying to get accustomed to a new environment, I felt alone, you know. So that was definitely part of the reason that was a hard year. And at the time, it felt like a huge loss because I felt excited that I was going into it with them, and I just didn't, you know. So, and one of them is older. He was like a mentor to me. So I was almost like, how am I going to navigate? Because I went to him for a lot. So I was like, how am I going to navigate life really without being able to like go to him and ask questions and ask. And now that I look at it, I mean, it felt like a big loss at the time. Now everything happens for a reason, but yeah, that was probably one of the recent big losses. Yeah.
and there's a saying. I remember seeing this on Instagram back in the day. It was it's you have a lot of people that come and go in your life, but very few people actually stay. They're like boosters on a rocket ship. They fall off eventually,
Yeah.
and you keep on going.
I like that.
And it's not because you don't love them or you don't like them or whatever it is. It's just they're not meant to go where you're going.
Yeah.
And in business, in life, as you continue to grow, I think that it's very important to surround yourself with the right people,
Yes.
because the energy is contagious. You know, it's tough to balance everything.
Yeah.
And I talk about balance. Tell me a little bit about balancing work, life, professional, personal,
Yeah.
and how that's been. Because we work in a 24-hour business, and it's time management, priorities, family. Like, what are some of those challenges, and how have you been able to navigate through that and actually, find a way to keep the relationships you truly want to keep powerful and strong,
Yeah.
while still performing at a high level in an industry that takes up so much time and energy?
So much time. Oh my gosh. No, honestly, I'm in my 20s right now, so there is no balance. It's just probably 80% work. I mean, I balance that. We did the goals, so like I talk to my family every week, but most of it is just work. And I like it that way. And I mean, I see getting better and working on myself as work, so I lump that into it. But I would say right now I don't have many responsibilities. I don't have a family. So there's nothing really to balance, and I was already planning on just grinding out my 20s anyway. So in terms of balance, it might not work long term, but right now it's not really much balance. No, I pretty much just do this all the time.
I mean, you've taken a couple of vacations.
Sure, I have 2-3 days. Anything more than that just starts to get a little much.
Got to keep the girlfriend happy.
Yes, that's right. But she knows too. She knows that I'm kind of locked in right now. So
That's great.
yeah.
What about a win? Talk to me about a win. I mean, I know this past year you've done some of your biggest deals ever. Tell us about a win.
If we go back, biggest one was sending that email. Honestly, that was probably my biggest win. But if we come into deals and stuff, like one big win was the Topsfield Sarkis deals. Those were the last fall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those were good. Both direct. Those were good.
Double-ended 2 deals.
Double-ended 2 deals, and that was.
And how did you meet the person that brought that all together?
At the open house.
At an open house.
At an open house, yeah. So that was definitely a big win. Another big win was the house in Linfield. Fell through 4 times, and the 4th time we lost the buyer, and I called a previous agent from like the first open house, and their buyer was ready to buy. So they ended up buying it, and we got it done. That was like 6 months in the making, but
and your sellers were ready to say see you later to you.
Yeah.
You had it under contract 4 times.
4 times.
And it fell through all 4 times.
All 4 times. Yeah.
And then the 5th time, you were able to put it together.
Yes, closed another 30 days. She was not happy. But that seller also ended up buying a house in Salem off market. That was our listing. So that was...
And did you get that loan closed with the business lines that you have a good relationship with?
Yeah.
You did.
Peter
Riverworks.
Riverworks, yeah.
And he was able to get it done.
And I called him and he said it's a done deal. Like, don't worry about it.
It's a done deal.
That was good to hear after the 4th time.
And you trusted him.
Oh, 100%.
And that's another thing where we talk, if you go back to our conversation, and we talk about why work with a buyer's agent.
Yeah.
I mean, we can connect them with the right resources and the right people to actually get the deal done.
Yeah.
And maybe your buyers who bought that deal, who bought the house in Linfield, wouldn't have been able to find a lender that was going to qualify them in that short time.
Yeah.
Because you were up against the clock.
Oh, I was. It was tight, and the sellers, we were already under agreement on the house in Salem, and when I told those sellers we had to extend, they almost didn't even want to. They were like, oh, no, we're not doing this. We knew we shouldn't have sold. It was bad timing. And so I kind of had to calm all sides down. And then because of him, we were able to move forward because I had him call the seller. I had him call everybody and just say, hey, tell them this is a done deal. And he did. He reached out to every single person. But that's why it's important, like you said, to work with someone you trust and someone that knows what they're doing, because we always say the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And that works
Amen.
with people too. So if you're someone, or if your agent is not someone that's thorough or is all over the place, they're most likely working with someone who is similar. So your lender will be all over the place and not be thorough. You know, your inspector might be all over the place and not be thorough. And imagine just going to buy a home and like everybody that's on your side is just not thorough and not on top of it. You would hate that, and it probably happens to a lot of people, and they probably lose a lot of money.
So I remember that when that all happened. And I remember every day, because we were playing basketball in the morning, we were going to the gym, and I would talk to you and I would ask you, how's everything going? And you'd be like, oh, the deal fell through. And one thing I've noticed about you is, which is kind of scary too, but not really, is you're always calm.
Yeah.
Your demeanor is always calm. I'll figure it out. Like, I get stressed out, and, people feel that energy sometimes. And to be honest, I'm super impressed and jealous and envious of the fact that you're able to keep it calm, cool, and collected, even during these stressful deals, these losses. Like, how do you do it? Like, how do you stay so calm and collected? Or are you just hiding it around people, hiding it from me? Or like, is this just like how you handle things?
It's just how I am all the time. The thing is, I wake up my like baseline mood is just grateful, like all the time. So you know how I grew up.
Yeah.
You know how I grew up. I grew up homeless.
Yeah.
I know what it's like to sleep on a park bench, sleep in a hallway. So to think that a lot of the things we go through day to day are hard. I mean, they're challenging. I don't like minimize them.
That's real.
But it'll never be as hard as knowing like where you're gonna find your next meal. So when those hard things happen and I'm in the middle of it, I just zoom out and I just think like right now I wake up every day and I get to sell luxury homes. But like there was a point in my life where luxury was just a pillow and a blanket. So to think that
that's real.
To think that just because the seller's upset with me, that I now have to ruin my whole day just doesn't make any sense. So literally, that's it. Like I go that extreme, and I'm just like, there's really no need to feel that way.
What's next, bro? Like, what's next? We're, $28 million now. Hopefully, you close the year out at 40, maybe mid-30s,
40,
which
hopefully.
Is awesome to see, man. Like, honestly, it's surreal.
Yep.
It's surreal to see your turn up, your growth, and I'm excited to see, like, the future. Like, what where do you want to be? Like, where do you want to go? What are some of your goals that you want to achieve? And like, what's next for Alex Sanchez?
That's what I think about every day, to be honest. I mean, I have the goal. I'm trying to hit 40, which is crazy to think because my goal was like 20, you know? So.
Momentum.
And you even said that was weak,
I
which
said
is
that was
crazy.
weak.
You
I'm
said
just
that was
trying
weak.
to push you.
So, just getting better. And I mean, I see big things for the team too. You know, like I don't know about everybody else, but I hope we go nationwide. I hope we do it big. I'm trying to hop on a private jet, go show something in Palm Beach with you or something. You know, like I'm thinking that crazy. But near term, just getting better, selling more 50, 60, 70. Probably hiring my family. If I could hire my sister, hire my brother. If the volume gets big enough, and then figure out a role within the team to just help us grow. Because my priority is the team at the end of the day.
Don't rush into working with your brother. It ain't always sunshine and rainbows.
All right, slow down,
And
down.
the next guest on the next episode will have a little sibling situation too. So we'll talk about that.
Show the pros and cons.
But that's great. I mean, you're growing. Most real estate agents in your shoes, you know, they start counting commissions, and they start getting calls from, you know, different brokerages, different teams. And, you know, us as team leaders, we want to help grow agents. And, you know, we always do have that thought that we're going to grow someone, we're going to help them grow. And then they're going to eventually want to go off on their own, potentially.
Yeah.
You know, this is a tough conversation to have. We've had it plenty of times.
Yep.
But why not go and start the Alex Sanchez team at X brokerage? Like, is that in the cards maybe? Like, you can tell me straight up down the road. Is that a goal of yours?
No. I always say, like when I play basketball, I always say, people say ball is life. I say life is ball. My best attribute on the court was that I'm a great teammate. So I know that I'm always going to thrive and be the best on a team. So no, I don't have any plans. Plus, I mean, I love it here. This is the best team. Not just opportunities. Like when I came and you were immediately saying growth, like get better, become better. I already knew right away I was at the right place. And then you guys are just awesome. Obviously, you provide opportunities, and then you specifically, you just throw us in the fire. So
Yeah.
we're able to learn a lot.
You've been throwing in some fires.
I've been throwing a lot of fires, honestly. But no, I would never do that because I want the team to grow. Like part of my goals for real estate is to help the team grow. And right now, obviously, it's just selling and helping the brand. Who knows where that will go otherwise? But no, my long-term plan is to grow the team.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to have you. We don't want you to go anywhere.
No, I don't. That's not even a
I'd like to
concern of
see you
mine.
sell $100 million one day,
That's the goal.
and then you'll fly me private to Palm Beach.
That's the goal.
Tell me why you should work with Alex Sanchez. Like at the end of the day, you could sell $100 million, but that doesn't mean anyone's going to work with you.
Yeah.
Why buy or sell a home with Alex Sanchez? Why? What are you going to do differently? Why you?
I just went to, when I was pitching for the listing on Broad Street, they basically asked me that same question. And I told them, like, what we do, marketing and everything like that, we definitely do it better than everyone else. Everyone does it. We do it better. But at the end of the day, like, we just work harder than everybody else. So we can market better than everybody else. We can do everything that real estate agents do better than everyone else. But, again, our priority isn't the check. So if someone's going to buy or sell with me, I'm just going to grind it out. No matter how long it takes, especially now, days on market are picking up. I just don't stop. I don't have a life. I literally just sell real estate. So you could text me at 2 a.m., you could text me at 2 p.m., and I'll pick up the phone. So,
Well, if we're working out at 5 a.m., you better be asleep at 2 a.m.
yeah, I am.
But you'll answer when you wake up.
I am. I go to sleep at 2 a.m., and then I wake up at 5 a.m.
Jeez.
So,
Must be nice being young. Okay. And what is the best advice you could give a home buyer? that is looking to get in the market, looking to buy a house, what's the best advice you'll give a buyer? First-time home buyer, someone relocating, doesn't matter. Anyone buying a house, give me 2 tips.
First one is do some research.
Hire you, that's the first one.
That's exactly right. First one is do some research on the markets that you're trying to live in. Like even before you get pre-approved, have an idea of what things are worth, have an idea of what areas you want to live in, especially if you're relocating. The second thing is the process starts before you even get pre-approved. You got to make sure your credit is right. You got to make sure you have the money saved. And you got to make sure you guys are on the same page. So if it's a couple and they're buying, sometimes they won't even know. Like one wants a home office, the other doesn't. So not being on the same page about some of these things just ends up making the process a lot harder. So,
all right, Alex, time's up. We could keep on going. You'll be in that seat again, and hopefully you'll have $50 million closed and under contract. But
yeah.
Keep up the good work. Everyone, follow Alex Sanchez on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on YouTube. This kid works harder than anyone else, and I am very excited to see his growth and continued success with the Sarkis team. Appreciate you, Alex.
Yes, sir.